Since the first video on color coding this tracker using conditional formatting came out, we've had a couple of great suggestions from educators about new ways to color code the tracker. And so in this video, I'm going to talk you through two of them. One is to identify learners who need to complete the check-in form. In other words, they haven't yet completed it today or haven't completed it in a couple days. And the other is to identify learners who have completed the check-in form multiple times during class. So, for instance, they might complete it at the start of class, then halfway through class complete it again. You might want to see, have they updated it and what did they update it to? So let's go take a look at both of these. First, we're going to look at learners who have not yet done the check-in form. So if I look today, it's September 9th. Most students have done the check-in form, but Stephen has not. Well, it's a little tedious for me to look through this. I would like to identify this quickly with color coding. So let's think about how we can do that. If you open this up, let's peek behind the hood here. We look out in column Q, there is today's date, and then there's also a formula that says how many days it has been since the most recent submission of the check-in form. So that's in column Q. Okay, we don't need these columns. I'm going to hide them again. But we are going to use that column Q for conditional formatting. So I'm going to select this entire thing. I'm going to go to Format, Conditional Formatting, make a custom formula. Let me move myself out of the way here. I have a custom formula, and I'm going to say equals $sign to fix the reference in the Q. Q1 is greater than or equal to 1. And Stephen is highlighted. Now, one small problem is that the top row may also be highlighted. We actually don't want to use that. We want to start in row 2. And this means we just need to change Q2 greater than 1. I can set this. And now I could come in and just take a look and say, okay, it's 10 minutes into class. Stephen, you got to complete this. So also, if you use the kind of public tracker template that is associated with this form, you'll see that the people who need to complete the form are also listed on that. So that's how we identify people that need to complete the form. The other challenge that we might have is that we might have people complete the same form multiple times in a day. So if I look on September 7th, Stephen actually did the form 3 times. And maybe this first time, maybe I looked at him and I said, okay, Stephen is working on this now. But then a few minutes later, he said he's feeling stuck. And I would want to identify that second time that Stephen did this, just so I have a place to look at. So what we're going to do here, we're going to first, and here I'm going to talk through a little bit of formula work. First thing we want to do is just create another column in column G that is going to give the date, but without the time, just the day on which the form was submitted. So I have a formula here. Let me paste it from my other screen. And it's in the description of this video. I'm going to paste it in here. It's called datevalue. And this is an array formula, meaning it extends down the column. If there's nothing in column A is blank, then it puts nothing in this column. Otherwise, it just pulls the date value of whatever is in column A. We don't need this fancy formatting here. In fact, I'm actually just going to hide this because we don't really need to see it. We do need it for the formula. Then I'm going to select all of this, go to Format, Conditional Formatting, another custom formula, and here I'm just going to copy in this formula here. Let me pull it from my other screen here. Okay, let it run, and it is identifying duplicates. I'll just talk quickly about one variable here. You probably don't want to have conditional formatting on every single cell in this book, because at some point, if you use this tracker for all year long, you're going to have hundreds and it would be confusing. So I've just done this to look at only cells where there may have been multiple submissions in the past 7 days. If I wanted to look at multiple submissions, second and third submissions in the past 2 weeks, I could change this to 14. And that might capture more, it might not. If I wanted to look at only the past 3 days, I just change this number. But I'm going to just, by default, have it look over the past week. And you can see here that Meg completed this here and here. This data doesn't make a ton of sense in terms of the story, but it was just sample data. Stephen is here. First, he took it here, he was working on it. Then he said, ready for mastery check. Now feeling stuck. So if I'm a teacher and I'm partway through class and I just want to come take a quick look at these multiple submissions over the past week, I might even be tempted just to look at today. I might set this number to a smaller number just to look at today and say, okay, Stephen has updated his progress in the middle of class, so I'm going to recalibrate my plan to take a look at him. So these are 2 ways you can deal with conditional formatting. One other thing I would say, by the way, is this list, if you're using this method of looking at form responses, the list is going to be very long. After you're a week out, one thing you could do is just right-click and hide some rows. That's going to make this easier to use. If you use this for your whole class over the course of a year, this data is going to be overwhelming to look at. Anyways, I hope these 2 little things help. Thanks for watching.